So, another player who is out of contract, and we are talking about Will Vaulks. Now, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I much appreciate it. Liking helps the algorithm, sharing gets in front of people's faces, and subscribing lets me know you like the channel. Hit that notification bell to let you know when video go live. So, Will Vaulks is out of contract. He's someone who's been offered a new deal. Now, Will Vaulks is one of one where he's in his 30s, and you probably want to upgrade that position eventually, but you want to keep a bit of the core group. We're not saying that every player we offer a contract to is going to sign. We know this. There are going to be some players who are going to want to try and stay. I believe Will Vaulks is one of these players who want to stay at the club and be a bigger part of it next season. Now, he did well last season, and he came in and did the job that we needed him to. Now, my issue here is, and it's a big one for me, is that who are you going to replace in that midfield? That midfield is something you have to figure out to replace, because he did a lot of work in the midfield in kind of breaking play up, trying to get things going forward, trying to make key passes. And the thing there for me is that we don't really have anyone else in the squad that can do that yet. That could be something where we manage to get someone in to do it. Now, apparently, talks are ongoing, but an agreement hasn't been reached yet, and it's not been able to get to a point of an agreement. But for Vaulksy, as he's known, he does have other offers on the table if he needs to. So it's not like when they are the big talking point here. Again, like I said with Josh Windass, when you hear other offers on the table, sometimes it could be the agent wanting to change a deal, make sure that they get what they want for the client. Maybe the client wants an extra year and we're only giving one now because that's what we're doing with when they get over 30. Maybe that's something they're doing. You could definitely see, as much as it sounds daft, I can see Will Vaulks going back to Rotherham after this. I can see him being in that Steve Evans side quite well. Much as the people won't like that being said, I can see Steve Evans poaching him again and getting another Wednesday player through the door. We did it with Wayne Smith, so it's only fair game. But for me, there is that side of me where if you're going to get any deal done this week, it needs to be done soon, because I personally think all contracts for players who are out of contract need to be done by this time next Friday. Next Friday is when the transfer window opens, and next Friday is when the Euros start. So if there's anyone who's playing in competitions like Copa America or Euros, you want to try and get them through the door as well if possible. So you're thinking like a Bernard, you want to get that contract with him done, dusted, sorted. But I had the thing with Vaulks where I'd like him to sign, but I also think we can upgrade on that position as well, kind of thing. If he doesn't sign, you're going to have to look for another midfielder in that position anyway. And we're already looking at midfielders. It would be nice to keep him part of the core group, but I also understand that keeping him part of the core group could also have the situation that you are keeping players here for the sake of keeping players here for nostalgic reasons and stuff as fans. But you want to keep a core group of players because it's easier when new players come in to like go, right, this person, go speak to this player, he can help you settle in. Go speak to that player. And we do need a big refresh because there are a lot of players here who have been here for a while who probably do need moving on. But I think it's one of those situations when you look at Roll's revolution he's wanting to do here and how he's wanting to put his own stamp on things. I think you need to keep some of that core just there at stability to see what happens. And maybe then if it doesn't work from like say September onwards and then you go into the January transfer window, you go, look, this hasn't worked for whatever reason, we're going to send you back, we're going to put you up for sale, or you can leave if you want to in January. I'd like to know what people's thoughts are about Will Vaulks in the comment section. What people actually think is a good deal for him. Do people want to see him stay at Sheffield Wednesday Football Club? That's another thing. There'll be some people who say, no, I think it's time to let him go. Good, because there was a lot of stuff said last year that he's a good League One player. don't think he's a championship player anymore, which I think he managed to turn around and change people's opinion on that quite well. He did the dogging pressing that Danny Rule loves to see in a player. And I think we got to be very careful about how we say about players who are currently in deals kind of thing, or talking about deals, because we do need a refresh. And I think midfield is one of those big positions that need a refresh. Say if you get Bannon, Palmer, Deshaun, Iorfa, and the three that don't sign are Windass, Vaulks, and Dawson, would you be happy, or would you want it to be Palmer, Bannon, Windass, Iorfa, Dawson doesn't sign, maybe Vaulks doesn't sign, and then Bernard? We all know we want Bernard. That out of all of them, that's the one where, you know, that's the player we want to get sort of quicker, but it ain't going to happen anytime soon, by the sounds of it, and it needs to. We knew that this week would be very busy in terms of what we get talked about and what happens. We're talking about bringing in Ben Hamer from as a free agent who was at Watford. There've been talk this afternoon about James Beadle being still allowed to come back on loan, and talks in that sense. I think the Brighton situation is interesting because there's a lot of deals to be sorted out in terms of their manager. So let's see where we are. But at moment as of recording on, what date today? 14th of June, there is no deal, and there doesn't seem to be where some people can agree on yet. That can change very quickly. We know what football's like, but at this moment in time, a deal for Will Vaulks staying at the club is looking unlikely.